The tranquil setting of the Northwood Hill Nature Reserve on the Isle of Grain, just one of the many along the north coast of Kent, is today peaceful. The only sounds bird call and the rush of wind across the marshes. But it could soon be very different. London's Mayor Boris Johnson says he wants to put an airport off the Isle of Sheppey. And not just any airport, but a floating one on an island. And that could spell death to some of Kent's most precious wildlife. Alan Johnson of the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds is in no doubt about whether the plans for Boris Island should go ahead.
Well, I think it's a fairly ludicrous proposition. We've been here before. 2002 to 2005, this scheme, or a similar scheme, was looked at quite carefully by the government, and they looked at the environmental and safety impacts, the economic impacts of the development, and they comprehensively ruled it out. And we can't see if there's any difference between that proposal and this proposal in terms of the impact that it'll have on the environment, the risk of bird strike, which is significant, and the economics that just don't stack up. It seems to be an idea that gets recycled and crops up fairly regularly, and it's a worry for the people on the Hoop Peninsula because and on Sheppey as well. So it's an idea that keeps getting recycled and keeps worrying the local residents and keeps getting rejected.
We contacted Boris's office for an interview, but he was unavailable. However, they did provide us with this statement. The Mayor is keen to know what the alternatives are to the expansion at Heathrow, and would like to know whether the idea of a new airport in the Thames Estuary would be viable or not. He therefore wants to undertake a study to establish the feasibility of the idea once and for all, and is in the process of examining the best way to take the study forward. But has Boris ever seen the area that could be affected by the plans?
Not as far as I'm aware, actually. He's more than welcome to come down, and I'm happy to show him all the great value of the marshes for wildlife. So he's more than welcome to come down. I can show him all the great wildlife we've got here, and what we'd lose if we did build an airport out on the estuary in the Thames. These are the most important places in the country, and here particularly, they're an international hub, if you like, for migrating birds and wintering wildfowl. If you zoomed out and looked at Britain in the global context and thought, well, what's it got for wildlife? You know, Africa's got the Serengeti, and Argentina's got the Pantanal, and Nepal's got the Himalayas. You know, Britain in conservation terms has got seabird cliffs, and it's got its estuaries, and its estuaries are in a crucial position globally for all of this wildfowl and wader activity. So if you took them away, you would remove a global resource, and it wouldn't just have an impact on Kent, it would have an impact on international populations of birds and where they've got available to feed. We want to make it clear from an early stage that this is just a ludicrous proposition, and this almost annual return of the airport monster needs to stop.
The residents of Sheerness on the Isle of Sheppey have mixed feelings on Boris Island.
I think it's quite good actually, because the jobs for around here is next to minimal, so it should open up some more prospects for us, which we need. We do need.
Absolutely ludicrous. We've got shipping lanes, well, 2 miles off, so I don't know where the airport's going to be. So, and why can't see why they don't build it at Manston, where they've got all the facilities anyway?
He's off his head. There's no way it's going to happen. Not a chance. Who wants to have an airport? Where are we, in the middle of Kent? No, it won't happen.
I think it's a very, very, very bad idea. Very bad, and it won't. I'm sure it won't happen. I'm positive it won't happen, but we never know, do we?
It's interesting, and it's the perennial sort of chestnut that keeps coming round again. We've heard it all before. Yeah, it's got its merits, but realistically, it's not going to get off the ground with the cost involved, I'm afraid, and with a lot of interest, the financial interest in Heathrow, I don't think that people there will really want to let go of it.
With the feasibility study underway, only time will tell whether there'll be a very different sort of wings over the skies of North Kent.